Hi, and welcome to the Elicit live stream number 13. I'm Andreas. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Elicit. Elicit is an AI research assistant. You're seeing it here on the screen. And as usual, I'll be researching topics that I don't really know anything about and that I haven't prepared with a time limit. It's 30 minutes, and we'll see how far we get. This is about learning in public. It's about both learning about the topic, but also learning how to improve Elicit as an app. Every week I find new things that I really would like to improve and that I forward to the team. And I'm open to topics. You can suggest them in the comments. I know last time some of you suggested science and engineering topics, and I really would like to get those, but I think today I will have to start with deli meats and pregnancy. Someone I know unfortunately ate a bunch of deli meat in pregnancy, and I heard rumors that that's bad, but I don't know how bad it is, and so I'm gonna research that. We'll have our timer. I'll start the timer right now, and we have 30 minutes to learn about it. If you have extra time, you might research another topic, but we'll have to see how far we get. All right, time is running. And to start, I think I'll just pretty directly ask the question, which is, what are the effects of eating deli meats in pregnancy? As usual, Elicit is generating a title for the notebook and is doing a semantic search for papers, and we will see if there are relevant ones. I don't think there are like too many papers on this as far as I know, but there must be some. And to find those papers, I will use the keyword filter because I really would like to just find papers that talk about deli meat. Let's see if that's an option. So this is gonna filter only for papers that literally involve the exact term. All right, so let's look at this one, for example. So this one is about food safety practices on pregnant women and mothers in Florida. And I think the first question here is what is even the mechanism by which eating deli meat causes bad pregnancy outcomes? And I think the way I want to think about this is I'm gonna select these papers. Here it says listeriosis in pregnancy. I think this might be the disease or the consequence that one is supposed to avoid, but we can learn more about this. So let's ask, what are the negative consequences potential of eating deli meats in pregnancy? That's what I thought. Can lead to listeriosis. Case fatality rate for neonatal listeriosis can be as high as 20%. Pregnant women are 18 times more likely to contract listeriosis compared to the general population. Pose a significant risk. Okay, so I think there are a few questions this raises already. First, I think it's important to know what is even the base rate of this particular illness, and then we can, so if it is in fact kind of more dangerous in pregnancy, which it sounds like it is, then, I guess it might also be much more common, but that's an adjustment relative to the base rate. And so I think we first want to just learn more about that disease. How common is listeriosis from eating deli meats? And then another question that we might want to look at in a bit is how does the risk profile change as you eat more or less deli meats? Because the person I'm talking about, they didn't eat a lot of deli meat. They just ate, ate it twice. Okay, so here in the summary, and we might want to zoom into this more, but in the summary it says 8% the prevalence of the pathogen, which is the Listeria monocytogenes, maybe that's a bacterium, is found in 8% of in-store packaged products, 3% of manufacturer vacuum packaged products. It's cross-contamination. Okay, here we're getting to the thing about the risk. Here it says in this 2009 paper is incidence of 5 cases per million people. Interesting. Chinese Journal of Primitive Medicine. I'm going to ask more explicitly. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'll load a few more papers here. And then I will ask more explicitly about the incidence. So now we have more papers. Some of these we have as abstracts, some of these we have as full papers. And now check with papers. What is the incidence of listeriosis per incidence, let's say per million people, of listeriosis caused by deli meat? And we did have some data on this earlier, but that was from one study, and I'm not sure how much we can trust that study. And so I want to scan through a few more papers and see if there's any alternative information. I have not obviously here, any other evidence, any other information about incidence. Yeah, so I guess that is how common is listeriosis more generally. Okay, so here is a rare disease, but it has a exceptionally high fatality rate. It says here of 20 to 30%. Wow, that is very high. So if the base rate is 5, let's assume for the moment there's 5 cases per million is approximately right, then if we also believe that pregnant women are about 20 times more likely than if those facts are both accurate, then overall we're at 100 cases per million, which is 1 in 10,000. And it's starting to get a bit more likely. Still, obviously, in absolute terms, very unlikely. But given the risk profile, is not great. Okay, here let's look at this kind of evidence to the contrary here, which says some sources suggest that the risk is low and that pregnant women can consume deli meats if they're obtained from reputable sources. Is the Canadian family physician. Improved standards have reduced the prevalence. At grocery store, no longer necessary to avoid foods like deli meats and soft cheeses. Okay, I wonder if we have the full text for this one. We do. Excellent. Because it's definitely something like maybe a surprising claim here. Let's specifically search for Listeria, which is the pathogen that we care about. Maybe this one. Maybe I want to look at this FDA article. And then here's this prospective study. Okay, this one is gone. We can still search for the title. There are two papers here that could be relevant, or two different takes. Okay, here we have more stats on how common this is. So a while back, maybe 20 years back, we were like 0.3. We were at 3 cases per million, and it might be trending down a little bit, but that's pretty compatible actually with the data we found earlier, which said 5 cases per million, if I remember correctly. And then let's check if there is if there are notes on pregnancy here. Not very obviously. Okay, here's the quantitative assessment. Let's search for pregnancy. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I will download this and add it to Elicit and query it there. It's maybe a little bit easier. So add a new step. extract data from uploaded papers. Oh, file is larger than 20 megabytes. Unfortunate. Let's maybe skim the results section here. Okay, so here we have Deli meats. And unfortunately here it seems like we don't get kind of data that is standardized to a particular number of servings. So here maybe the number of servings is correlated with a particular food category. Or maybe there's another table actually that's better. See, how large is this file really? I think what I'll do is I'll just split this into 2 files. Let's call it Listeria 1. And then I'll take the second half here. Oh, the second half might be much bigger. Oops. And I'll call it like Listeria 2. Wow, it's a surprising amount of work for my computer to copy a few pages to a different PDF. File, uniform clipboard, Listeria 2. Oh. Okay. Wow, I actually split them almost perfectly in the middle. That's incredible. So now back to Elicit. Let's upload the 2 papers. I don't know if the second one is going to parse successfully because it's not going to look like an academic paper anymore. It doesn't have a title, authors, or anything like that. But if you're lucky, we'll still get some information from it. Here we have the 2 papers that are uploading. And we are currently working on improving this upload experience a lot. It's definitely not as kind of smooth as we would like it to be. Sort most recently uploaded. All right, Elicit has parsed the first of the papers and is currently still in the process of parsing the second one. We'll see what happens there. But once we've parsed them, I want to ask some more specific questions about the papers because they're a little bit long to skim and read manually on this live stream. at this point, we have about 10 minutes left. So we have to be efficient with our remaining time. Yeah, that's what I thought. The second paper, because it's not structured like a paper, didn't immediately parse. So let's take the first one and let's ask some questions about it. So, iterative papers, what are the consequences? What is the incidence and risk of eating the deli meats in pregnancy? I don't know if this paper will address that pretty directly, but it's worth asking. Oh, nice. So it seems like there is actually detailed modeling in this paper that could be relevant. Specifically, here's the median cases per serving risk. There's also the predicted median number of listeriosis cases per year. And that is also interesting to put this in kind of relative comparison to other things. So if there are roughly speaking 1,000 cases, and there are, let's say, there are like hundreds of millions of people in the US, then in fact the incidence is like still quite low. It's like 1 in hundreds of thousands, which is roughly compatible with our earlier finding. Our earlier finding was a couple in 100,000 with the maybe number trending down. And I'd guess that most of these cases are probably from people who either eat higher risk deli meats or eat more servings, such as eat them every day. Because here it says the frequency per serving is like roughly 80 in a billion, I guess. So what do we make of this? So the person I think I talked to ate maybe a few servings. It's still very low according to this. Maybe let's check the particular quote that's behind this. Can you give the quote that substantiates Okay, that's not the most helpful. So let's go back and look at the PDF. By the way, this is also something we want to make easier, like clicking through to quotes from the chat. Canon. I guess that's just the paper here. So 77, 10, That's 9. Here we have 77 cases. Yeah, I wish this were easier. I'll go and check this after the fact. Maybe let's first check this 1599 number. Okay. Predicted, here we have it already. Predicted median cases per serving and per year. I guess there's not a lot more on this here. But I think this is roughly compatible with things we saw before. Suppose you have roughly 100 cases in a billion per serving, and suppose a person eats 10 servings, then they're back to maybe 1 in a million roughly. Okay, I think overall, if it's not the case, I was going to say, if it's not the case that the frequency is higher in pregnant women, then this is pretty low, but we do know actually that the risk is a little bit higher. Where do we see this? Increased susceptibility. We're almost out of time. Actually, maybe we're basically out of time. We have 3 minutes left, and the final thing that I really would like to know. So overall, my sense was, the risk per serving is not very high. It's lower than 1 in a million, as far as I can tell. And then the question is like, how much higher is the risk in pregnancy? And here we had this particular data point of 18 times more likely, which was from this paper. This actually seems like a good paper to just read if you're interested in this topic. Listeriosis during pregnancy. And here's the specific stat we saw. In particular, pregnant women are about 20 times more likely than the general population. So if the per serving risk is, let's say conservatively for a normal person, 1 in a million, then for pregnant women it might go up to 1 in 100,000 or 1 in 50,000 or so. So it's not nothing, but if you ate 1 deli sandwich accidentally, I don't think you should immediately worry a lot, especially if it comes from a reputable place or has been kind of reheated already. So we're out of time, pretty much. We have 1 minute left, and I think we can wrap up here. If you enjoyed this, as usual, hit the like button, subscribe. Don't tell too many of your friends. We want to keep the audience small, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.